take that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you guys. I have a bad foot.
Yep, no, you're good. Okay.
City council meeting for October 11th, 2022. We will start by.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry.
Flag of the United States.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kenyon.
Here.
Here.
Mary Bailey by Zoom. You're here, Mary. And Molly.
Here.
Rogers, she has with Kenyon Winnebago School District a job there for tonight.
Speaker, Mary Hickey is here, City Administrator Mark Bolsing. City Attorney Scott Riggs here, City Engineer Dennis Orlane.
Rollinger, yes.
Yes. Written out that way. Assistant Administrator Holly is here, Finance Kathy is here, Police Show here. Also, first Wayne Eric. Hey, there we go. Okay. So, continue. Comment. I wonder if there's anything that wants to be said. Please. Opportunity.
Yeah, the representative should be here, but he's not. The guy running for the state rep from Faribault. Yeah, Daniel.
She turns down her. If she turns down her volume on her phone. That's what.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn off.
Speaker.
Can you hear? Okay. Are you guys okay now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that better?
It is.
Okay. Sorry.
It's okay. Okay. We'll pass on that then. We'll adopt the agenda. Is there any changes to that?
Nope.
Okay. Do we have a motion then?
So moved.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion been made. Second, to adopt the agenda. Those in favor? Motion say aye.
Mayor, you'll have to do a roll call since you have
Oh,
one
you're
councilman.
right,
Yep.
you're right.
Yep.
Okay, we'll start with the roll call then. Kim Nelson.
Here. Aye.
Dan Richardson.
Aye.
Aye. Mary Bailey.
Aye.
Say aye. Again, aye. So motion passes for the adopt the agenda as is. Okay, we can do the next one for consent agenda. Well, the minutes and appointments, we can do that, and financial all at the same time. And we would need a motion on that.
I'll move.
Second, make a motion on that to pass as is.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion has been made and second to consent agenda, approval of minutes and appointments, and financial. So we'll again go Kim Helgeson.
Aye.
Okay. And Rachel.
Aye.
Mary Bailey.
Aye.
Aye. The aye, so aye, that's this. Okay, then we can go into presentations, public hearings, recognition, proclamation. Anything on that?
Nope.
Get through in a hurry today. Go on then with engineer.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mayor. So I have a letter in the council packet. So I'll just briefly go through this. Last meeting, we said that we would come back with a recommendation on the scope or basically the list of streets that would be included in the 2023 street project. So in the capital improvement plan, what's been discussed is a dollar figure of just over 500,000. You can see in the letter that the streets that are included in there exceed 500,000. Wayne and I met with a contractor to try to get an idea on where asphalt pricing is coming in. Realistically, it's all over the board. I can find a contractor that will tell me it's well below. I can come up with the price. That's what you're seeing here. As far as planning goes, we should be conservative. Which is where my recommendation is coming from here. So what I'm recommending we do here is split this project basically into a base project, and then we can move forward with the remainder of the improvements as add alternates. So this base project would include 1 block of Boa Street, 2 blocks of Washington, 2 blocks of 8th Street, and then several blocks of 7th Street. And that estimate is coming out to about 500,000. Again, that's total project cost. And then if we were to do the remainder of the work, we would just include that as alternate work that could easily be taken out of the project if these bid prices come in higher than what we're planning for. Any questions with the streets that are listed?
Yeah, okay, the budget was 515,000, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so you're looking at about 500,000.
Yeah, that's what the estimate is for the base project. And if you do this additional work as add alternates, we'll just see where those bid prices come in, and then you can make a decision at that point as to how much you actually want to bite off. You know, if we design those other ones, you can certainly do those another year if it doesn't fit into the project. Nothing really changes with it. The streets that are in the what we're calling the base project are more in line with the goal of this project, which is streets at the midpoint in their overall pavement life. If you get questions from residents wondering, well, why are you doing this street? There's, 7 other streets in town that are in worse condition. We know. This is to address streets before they're in that very poor condition. Those 2 blocks of 7th Street in Washington that are those alternate projects or alternate areas, they are kind of getting into that worser condition where with time they're realistically closer to a reconstruction than an overlay type of project. Yeah.
So how long do you have to wait
Does not.
before you get where you're going to redo the whole street? Like, how long do you wait?
Mary
Do you know
Ann?
what I'm saying?
Mary, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to slide it down.
Okay. I'm sorry. How like, I'm just wondering, how long do you because we're waiting for those to do those streets, right?
Mary,
So
could-
how long do you wait? Because I know you got to wait till they're really deteriorated, but how long do you think you wait till you reconstruct them?
if we were to not do anything, how long would we be waiting to reconstruct them? Is that your question?
Yeah, I'm just, because I get what you're saying, but how long is the wait then?
Normally, once a street is in this midpoint life, it would be realistically, the answer is I don't know. But
Okay.
recommendation is 5 years.
Okay.
If we can get it in this five years, certainly no more than 10 year period, then more than likely we could still address that street with the improvement that we're talking about, which is overlay with some minor patching. If you wait longer than that, then you're looking at more expensive repairs.
Okay. Just curiosity.
Sure. And I'm sorry, were there any other questions with this?
I think Wayne answered
The
this.
problem that I got, or an issue that would arise is taking care of the streets, I understand it's, but you gotta continue on maintaining what you got. And we also have to do something with the ones that are absolutely have to be replaced.
Mhm.
I kind of looking at it, I know, didn't bring in a discussion last time, we looked at that, but I feel we should be able to take one street at least that's in bad condition and replace it
Mhm.
in this program. Or each time that we do it, so we get one, we maintain the good streets, but we also pick up one.
The 2 blocks of State and Washington are getting, I mean, they're in the, you know, kind of getting into that category, and there's actually a lot of since those streets have been constructed, there's a lot of settlement and movement going around, and I know they're getting to be a real pain for plowing. You know, castings for the sanitary sewer, getting all that type of
Yeah,
thing,
I
but
think the question is, the streets that we selected
Mhm.
are bad streets or streets that needed repair, but there's no serious underground utility work needed.
Yeah.
That's what
Yes.
ramps up
Mhm.
the dollar value into the millions, so to speak. But this is getting,
Wayne, when we went through, you know, that evening and looked at the full city on it. I know that they were in there, but I'm just saying that's something that we need to look at. Morgan Hill is one of them that's getting nasty.
So Mulgren Hill, and I know we talked about a couple of streets, Mulgren Hill, 9th Street.
Yeah,
Those are streets that could be, they're pave jobs that could be added as an addendum, or what's your word? Alternate,
Mhm.
when we do a bid. And those are kind of outside of the street infrastructure rating process because they're not paved. But those streets are ones that could be added to this stuff and then bid it out. And if we get good bids like we have before, where they're, you know, lower, sometimes you can pay for that, add that on, and it won't raise what Derek has estimated the cost to be.
Yeah.
And so that's where that kind of street would definitely is something we should talk about doing, or the council should talk about, are those type of streets, because those are like easy to address.
well, that's what we did before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One other point that I'll make with this, you know, for the most part, these streets that are listed, it's just an overlay and some minor patching. If we were to say, hey, you know, let's take out some of this overlay and just address like one bad block of streets or something like that. In order to hit the same dollar figure, I would have to remove about half of the overlays. So it's just the cost of those improvements is so much higher. But you know, we're trying to fit this into the overall plan of addressing our better conditioned streets first. So in the long term, we're reducing pavement life cycle costs.
I think the other thing too, that, you know, it's been about a month and a half that we had the August meeting where we went through and looked at long-term planning for streets. And, you know, we really should continue down that plan.
yeah.
I think where cities can get into trouble is they'll go with a plan like that and then come to a meeting and hear from someone that says, well, why aren't you doing my street? And I think that's where maybe some of the problems that we're into now have probably come up, is things were shifted around. So I think we trust our engineer, and if this is the plan that we need to go forward to get the long-term fix, yeah, we're gonna have some streets that are gonna need some repair, but you know, we should stick to the plan, in my opinion.
Oh, Dan, I agree with you totally on it. I'm just bringing it up that we have to go start looking at making.
Which we
repairs
did
for
in
us.
August.
Yeah. I know
Yep.
that, yes.
Yep.
But it's something to bring up that it's going to be an issue. So. And
Consider-
like you both said, you know, if there's enough revenue left, we can, you know, do some juggling around. Yeah, I'm certainly in agreement.
Okay. So maybe that's even a good note for the next time that we're updating, the capital improvement plan, the list of streets, in years forward here.
Okay, we do need a motion, I believe, on that to continue on. Give engineering section to continue on.
I'll make a motion to continue on then with the 2023 street improvements project scope.
Project had described as above.
Yep.
I'll second it.
Okay. Any other discussion on it? Not, we will pull then, we've had a motion made, second. For engineer, motion directing the city engineer to proceed with the project as described above. Jim Helgeson.
Aye.
Okay, Dan Richardson.
Aye.
Mary Bailey.
I,
Okay, Doug Henty, aye. So, ayes. Thank you. All right.
Better by legal.
Anything else that you have?
Nope, nothing else.
There you go. Right.
All right, thank you. Here's your update on our One Langford Avenue. Since last meeting, we talked about the enforcement action. I've had, I'd say at least 4 conversations with the attorney and email exchanges of beyond that, quite a bit more. We did receive an email today of what was purportedly accomplished. I sent that to Mike, no, I'm doing it. Sent it to Mark. Sent it to Mark. Actually, Gene sent it to Mark because I was already in the car driving down. I had been waiting for this plan. We had sent them a list of issues relative to the property, the code violations, things like that. We then got back from the attorney via the property owner's complaints about city issues, which were not relevant. Mark and I addressed all those. But then today we got, and I'll tell you what the email says. It says this is what has been accomplished. That 1 truck is now currently licensed. 2 semi-tractors and 4 trailers are sold. 1 tractor and 2 trailers are gone, and they are waiting for a buyer to come pick up the second set. They're going out of state. There are 2 more tractors scheduled to leave Monday morning, or Monday, I guess. He had said morning to me before, but it says coming Monday. With that, he says leaves 1 unregistered tractor, and they're planning to move it out this week. We'll see. The client, the property owner, has been sorting lumber on the property, and it's drying out. They're wondering if they can tarp it and cover it up. My answer would be no, but we can talk about that. So obviously, slowly things are happening. We haven't gone to court because it doesn't make a lot of sense cost-wise. I will tell you this, and I'm not going to go into great detail of the strategy here because next time we can do this in closed session if we have to. I've spoken to our prosecutor, David Jacobson. He and I have come up with a potential other approach because it's moving so slowly, which would involve a different court system than we're in right now. But I guess we'll see if this gets verified. That means the chief's going to have to visit the property this week, and we're going to get another list going. We will send that list over, and then we'll decide whether it stays on the civil side or goes to the other side, criminal. Because I know we've done a number that way before. Usually these move a little more quickly. I do think, as I said before, the attorneys had some issues getting a hold of the owners, but we're at the point that I don't think that matters. And if it doesn't work on the civil side, then you can shift over to the criminal, and they can deal with the court system at that point in time, rather than us having to deal with it. I know we've had success in that other times. We've gone different approaches. I do think the attorney believes it's going to be cleaned up. And if we give them the list of what's out there and we can get dates, that's fine. Other than that, David and I will talk about it further, and we'll decide. And I'll let David make a call on that as well after we talk to the chief. So that's where we're at. It is moving very slow. So sometimes it's easier to deal much more expediently and cost effectively on the criminal side, although we typically try to avoid that in these situations. But that's the other option. I did mention that to the attorney last week, that that's certainly an option. I'm going to talk to the prosecutor. So that's where we're at.
Well, I know that there has been activity down
There
there
has been,
and there
yeah.
has been some things moved.
Yep.
And that or stacked, possibly getting ready to
Yep.
to be moved. One of them that definitely would make a better appearance is there's vehicles that are parked out there that have not been moved.
Yeah.
For a good number of months in the front.
Okay.
If you did, I would say this year, that would even make a better appearance for the property itself, if you could get them out of there.
Well, and again, if we get a representation with dates like sort of happened this evening, that's great. That's what we're trying to do. But I think we need a better list, and whether that's through you, chief, or how we do that, we need to do it. Yeah.
I don't want vehicle belongs to somebody else.
Right. Yeah, but the reality under our code is none of the vehicles are properly parked, even if they're licensed. It really doesn't matter. They're not on hard surface, things like that. The storage of outside materials, again, not allowed in that district for what it is. So those are the things I've explained. We just have to verify and see if it's being stacked up, looks like they're moving, great,
Yeah.
but we need a time frame.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to push them off a different way, and neither does David, but we talked about it, and at least it's there. It's been mentioned, and we said, if we have trouble and can't reach this guy, then he can make time for somebody else,
Yeah,
not the council.
he's been there on and off
Okay.
on occasion that I have seen them, even though I've been busy the last 2
Yeah.
weeks. But there is activity moving
Okay.
and that would, so.
And that's what the attorney was trying to
Yeah.
do. So I think he's done that, and I think he's got him to understand it's serious. But
Yeah.
like I said, we mentioned the other approach, and that's on the back burner for now.
So there's a dynamic to this ownership without getting into specific names of owners. The trucks, the pontoon haulers, which is what those are, those trailers are pontoon haulers. Those are owned by a different party than a lot of the other stuff there.
Yeah.
And that party said he's gonna move them. It took a long time, but they're moving. But the other stuff belongs to property owner, basically, and that I still am frustrated because I don't see that anything has happened with
No,
that end, but I know we're going as fast as we can, but
it seems to be the attorney was focusing on the vehicles, and I said, it's all the outside storage. He knows that was what was sent to
Yeah.
him.
yeah.
So he's aware of that. But again, we may have to get more definitive with the list with the chief and then decide which way it goes. So
Yep, okay.
it's there, and I don't know that we need to spend more time on it, and I don't want to do any more strategy discussions. If we need to, we'll have a closed next meeting and do it and talk about it. And
If it comes down to that, yep.
yeah, we got to bring David.
Which you
in.
probably will.
We'll do that.
Yeah, okay. Council, do you have any questions on it?
I did, yeah, I mean, hopefully there's progress that's being made. The thing that kind of gets into the back of my head is there a little stalling technique here? And the get to winter, then they'll just walk away. They'll give me a leeway till winter and spring. I think we've been down this road before, and so we just need to make sure that if there is movement, we want to keep the momentum.
Understand, and I will talk to David Jacobson tomorrow. We'll have a further discussion.
I would certainly like to see all of the heavy equipment and that
Out
out
of there.
before,
Yeah.
before winter, let's put it that way, 'cause it just gets. That'll at least help with getting that by. Mary, is there anything that you wanted to bring in?
No, I mean, I drove by it today. I think it looks worse. But whatever, as long as we keep moving forward and we can keep the momentum going, I agree, just, yeah. Get it done.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Well, thanks for getting us up to date on it. Don't have anything else? We'll move on then to old business, which is item A, is the future of the depot park shelter.
So the park board talked again at their meeting last week about the Depot Park, about, different kind of the conditions of it, and we talked about basically the point that we're at now is, or the park board would like to ask the council to give them some direction on, do we want to continue to use the current depot and maybe fix that up? Or do we want to look at options? And this isn't something that's going to happen overnight. We're talking still a lot of work has to be done to get to that point. But, as far as a direction for the future, like this would go into the strategic plan, we'll go into next year's strategic plan. But is a direction of, do we want to, does the council want to see the current depot fixed up? Or do we want to look at, like a new picnic shelter type of facility similar to the ones that are up here? And that's not to say that the depot would be demolished by any means. It would probably be moved somewhere, but it wouldn't be used as a park shelter anymore. So that's kind of the big $1 million question is the future direction, because obviously that's going to change a lot of what, how the park board's going to work, whether it be fundraising, the whole direction of everything with that. So before they go too far more with it, they kind of want to get an idea from the council as far as, future direction.
Well, can I just ask, like, is that, what is is that original? Is everything there, original?
It was moved in there.
It was, okay. And I guess I don't know the history of it or anything about it, but that would be interesting to know, if there was some historical value, that would mean something.
It was moved in.
Okay,
It's an old depot.
and not originally from here.
Yeah, it's originally from Kenyon.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah, it was just moved and then kind of got it out and turned into a park, multi-use building
I think they moved it in the 70s.
in the 70s. Wayne thinks.
Okay, because that's, that's sort of important.
Has there been anybody looking at it with a building trade?
Wayne.
Like O&M or anybody else?
Like a building
that kinda
inspector?
has an idea as to what the value, how much it would repair to put it back together, would it be better?
Yeah, we haven't done that yet just
No,
because
nothing.
Anything of the sort.
we're trying to get direction. What should we do as the next step? So we haven't done any cost estimates or anything yet.
This spring, a guy contacted me about sending him pictures. He's restoring it. And he wanted pictures of the inside. Ours is no longer a depot on the inside with the kitchenette and the bathroom installed in the middle of it. Ours is nostalgic on the outside only. According to what he said. So then, with that, and like another idea with, if we were to swap out the shelter for something newer or modern, we could relocate it to a different spot in the park. And maybe that would gain us some square footage to install basketball court or pickleball court, or just kind of change the layout of the park without trying to shoehorn everything in. Whatnot.
Jim, you're on the park board.
Mhm.
Has there been any comments made amongst the group, kind of what they lean, although they're asking for direction, but is there more favoring it, keeping it, going away with it, or what?
Well, I think everybody's pretty much kind of the same thing where we want something that's going to be usable for the community, that they don't have to worry about plugging in the crock pots in one area and then another one on the other side because they blow fuses and the flooring is bad. I think just I like the idea of the relocating. We don't want to lose what we have, but yet the cost that it's going to be to renovate that, to get it up to a nice shelter. And that's kind of where we discussed that we need to find out what everybody else on the council thinks to how to proceed. Do we, like you said, get bids for repairing the existing depot, bids for moving it and putting up a new shelter.
Dan, what do you think?
I think we need some information. Yeah,
That's what Red's.
I'd like to see some numbers.
Yeah.
It's hard to go in any direction without, if repairing it is, $10,000 and a new shelter is $10 million, I can tell you which direction I'm gonna go. But without any information, it's hard to make a call here. So I think we need to, if we can, not necessarily have a bid, but if we can just get some estimates on, the scope and sequence would be of
Some,
rehabilitating it and.
Mark, if you slide back up on it. So those, that green roof one there, when I called the company, the second on the bottom there.
This one,
So something like that style, when I talked to them, similar square footage to what the current depot is. I told them 2 universal, like a universal sex bathrooms, no male, female, whatever. And it'd have a utility room in the center, so that way there you have the hot water heater. If you did rent it or reserve it for the weekend, you could flip the power on and then have like a buffet against the wall. And they would have like LED lights, whatnot. I think at that time it was like right around 130 to 150. It's a limit on how fancy you want to get. Some have stone pillars, the different archways on top.
Yep.
But that was kind of a shoot from the hip number because they'll build whatever you want. When I called this one company. So that was kind of a starting point there. They'd be, all open on slab.
Mhm.
So then it'd be usable 7 days a week. And if you reserve it for the weekend, you have the ability to open the bathrooms, turn the power on, plug your crock pots in, that sort of.
Mary, do you have something to say?
Well, I mean, I have my own personal opinion. I mean, I like history, I like to preserve that if it's, makes sense. I mean, if it doesn't make sense, I'm kind of with Dan on that. Like, I kind of want more numbers, I think it's cool to have things that are old and to preserve them. I mean, and our town is kind of like that. So I think that gives stuff more character, but that's just my personal opinion. So I guess if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. I would have to see numbers too, I guess. What you could do with the old one and, even revamp it completely. I mean, if that's similar or in price or, less, but I guess I'm with Dan on that I would have to see more numbers on it. But I mean, that's just my personal thing. I think it's cool to have old stuff. You don't see that, everywhere anymore.
I'm gonna go back to my first comment was we need some figures to look at, and I'm feeling this way about it. Public Works Director Wayne, could you possibly look into L&M or somebody local that you feel comfortable with and give me some kind of an idea what the current building needs in repairs, just a rough idea. And I think that's going to make a major decision as to what we actually do.
How far do you want to go with?
We got to get it back up to shape.
I mean, is it windows and siding or patch the floors and doors?
Because when was the last time it was painted? That was a Scout project, an Eagle Scout,
1997.
97. Okay.
So-
Jeff Trost, or Jared Trost.
Trost.
Project.
Yeah.
probably not siding
Time.
so much. I mean, I think you would just repaint the thing. But look at the condition of the roof, the flooring, the windows, I think all those kind of
The roof
things.
is a few years old. When I say siding, there's some areas you can see right through the walls. Other side comes loose. electrical, if we redid the electrical.
Well, we'd almost have to redo the electrical, because if
That's
if
one of the
people are,
Um,
Brains is you plug two crock pots in and
yep.
clips the breakers all the time.
Yeah.
You gotta separate them on.
So I guess what I'd like to see is what would it cost to make it so that it is, nothing fancy, but just usable
Yeah,
and
just
dependable.
update.
User friendly.
Yeah.
You know, I think we could have Cora to work on this and get estimates.
Yep.
I think it'd be a perfect thing, you know, for another, you know, things she could work on. You know, just because it's gathering information, contacting contractors and so. Yeah, I think we'll have to make a list of, you know, like you and I and her will have to go out there, look at the place. We'll have to make a list of what we think would need to be done and try to get some estimates, you know, as best we can of what it might
Because
cost. We
you know
know
that
Ooh.
place is like really cool, you know, it's really cool looking, but the inside, like I've done some stuff in there when I was on park, it's like kind of cold and it's not welcoming, you know, on the inside, but it's so like cool and beautiful on the outside. You know what I mean? Kind of. So you would just need to do something like the electricity and all that and make it, but you want to make it welcoming as well. So
Yeah, the inside does seem kind of drab and dark and the outside, it looks decent, so, yep. So we can do that, you know, come back in a few months or whatever and try to. Hopefully we can get some contractors to come out and that's challenging nowadays, but just like house. You know, but I think it's one nice thing like with electrical, that's a pretty open platform, so it's not gonna be too difficult for somebody to come in there and rewire it or upgrade the wiring or whatever needs to be done. You know, windows, I think maybe we can get, you know, Learfeld or somebody to help us with that. Flooring, we'll have to do some digging on that, but yeah, so we'll have to make a, you know, do we want to make more of a kitchen? I mean, we'll have to kind of look at this and see because there's a lot of variables that could go into something like this and then, you know, bring some of that back. So, yep, that's why we came back here to kind of get your direction here with this, so. Yep. And then we can compare to, you know, like I said, this will be on well, I'm gonna add this to the strategic plan.
20 next year.
Yeah, and that what will be added will be either to fix up the existing building or look at replacing it. It's not gonna say which is a preference yet or anything like that, but what's on there because obviously I think it's a important thing to look at. A lot of people use that facility. It's booked out all summer into the fall and people want to use it even into later in the fall after we turn the water off of it. So, yeah.
That's one thing too, there's zero insulation in that thing, and there's no heat. But once the water's done, we stop.
Yep.
And with the new building, it's not gonna be any different though.
No, it would be different, but that's something if you were gonna redo something, do you wanna
Yeah, I suppose.
insulate it, put heat to it?
And it
and
would
it'd be a
expand the
useful
use.
space year-round? You know, that's a whole other direction, but
Yeah.
just a thought.
Okay.
Do we need a motion on that or just a discussion?
No, probably not. It's just discussion right now.
Council, do you want to go with advising Mark and Wayne to?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to make a motion just to, you know, to,
Scott, what do we say?
Direct
Either
us to
way,
get
yeah,
more
either way, if you want a
information.
motion to direct staff to
That's fine,
continue
yeah.
reviewing the matter, I think that's fine. And bring back relevant proposals, because it looks like you all want a cost proposal, and that makes sense.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
The motion then has been made and second for the future of the Depot Park and discussion that we'll go forward with Mark and Wayne looking into some of the cost of the project to renovate Depot Park. Okay, we'll start with any more discussion. Mary, do you have anything else to add to it?
nope, I'm good. Thank you.
We'll go Kim Atkinson.
Aye.
Aye.
Mary Bailey?
I,
Doug Henke, aye. It passes.
Yep, Cora set her loose on it, so. Super excited.
You guys are actually gonna go and, what's she gonna do? I don't know, what's her?
Legwork, calling contractors, putting together a list of the quotes. She's doing that for the Gunderson house right now a little bit, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the legwork, calling contractors or whatever, follow up. I'm gonna go out with Wayne and her and
Okay.
look at it, so I mean, I'll be working with her on it. And Wayne will.
Any, I guess that's it for old business, or it looks on here. For new business, item A is administrative policy number 33, electronic funds transfer policy.
Okay, so this.
Give us a little bit of information on that.
This was a finding from the audit. And basically, the auditors said that we needed to adopt, the city needs to adopt an electronic fund transfer policy, which covers basically electronic payments, EFTs, all that kind of good stuff. So it's a pretty straightforward. We got a couple of draft policies from the auditors. And we took one of them and just made a few changes to it. You know, inserting the city of Kenyon basically and a couple other small things, but basically it's pretty straightforward, so. But it's something that needs to be adopted in by the council to, you know, meet that finding stuff, so.
Okay, so then there isn't, we can actually go then with the administration policy 33.
Mhm.
Will that cover it then?
Yep,
Electronic funds?
yep.
Okay.
It looked pretty straightforward to me. So I'll move approval of administrative policy 33.
okay, I'll second it.
Mary say something?
Actually seconded.
She
Mary
second,
seconded.
I did.
yes, okay.
Okay. Any other discussion on that policy? If not, there's been a motion made, second, for administration policy number 33, electronic funds transfer policy. So we will go Kim Helgeson
Aye.
and Reginald.
Aye.
Mary Bailey.
I,
Doug Henke, aye, so it will pass. Okay. Reschedule November council meeting. Because of the election that day.
Yep. Yeah, so the deal is, I'm gonna be gone from the 10th, I believe it is, through that whole next week out of the country. So I would recommend you just schedule it the next week and just go with it. I'm not gonna be there, but survive.
It only takes a short time anyway.
Yeah,
We'll do
and
the
you
whole
know,
council.
we'll keep it to a minimum.
Yeah.
There's probably items that can wait until next meeting or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm
these guys will
okay
be here, so it'll
with,
be good.
Scott,
Mhm.
Derek, are you guys gonna be able to work on that?
Yeah, is there a date?
That's what we're talking.
Okay.
That's fine. What date are we talking? You want to
Well,
do?
that's a discussion right now. Then what do you got?
Tuesdays are pretty good. The 11th is Veterans Day, so that's probably pretty busy. We probably don't want to deal
Can't
with
do
that.
it.
So how about 15th? Or the 16th, that Wednesday?
Would be better for me. I usually
Okay.
have a meeting.
All
I
right,
have a conflict on the 15th.
okay. The six,
16th would be better than
For both of you?
Yeah.
the 16th?
Wednesday, the
Wednesday.
16th.
Okay, I got mine down here, so. Only question that I have is for myself, I'll work with it, whatever goes. Could we have it again scheduled at 7 o'clock? Or is that too late for everybody?
it's
Instead of
fine.
the 5?
Yep.
Will that
fine.
work for you guys?
Works for me.
Okay, so we're gonna look at with discussion here November the 16th, which is Wednesday. We'll do it at 7 PM. Is that okay with everybody?
Sounds good.
I'll make that motion then. We have November the 16th, which is a Wednesday at 7 PM for the council meeting for November.
I'll second that.
Okay. All of those in favor of the motion, we'll start with Kim.
Aye.
Okay, yeah,
I,
Mary? Mary? I think he's in favor of it. And Doug Henke, so we got 3 for it, and Mary is on the
Loser.
fence for the moment. So it'll still pass.
Mary, are you there? Oh, I bet it
Still.
did.
It's still calling them.
Yeah, it's still connecting,
Can you
but
see it on the computer?
let's see here.
Hello, I'm sorry.
There she is.
My Zoom.
Did
Okay,
Mary
there you go.
Sorry, yes, you need me to say aye?
get-
Yes.
Something
then-
happened. Yes, aye.
Okay, well, the motion
Sorry
passes.
about that.
Thank you, Mary. Okay. Item C is schedule a meeting to canvass 2022 election results, November 11th to the 18th.
So that could be done on the 16th, right?
how long does that take?
To canvass the election results. A minute.
Okay,
I mean, it's just one vote on the election results, so that
So-
could be done on the 6th. It could be done the next week. It's got to be done before the,
could we do it on the 16th at 6:50?
well, I think you can do it during the meeting.
Yeah, I can just.
Oh,
part of the
right, as
agenda.
Part of the meeting.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Do we have to officially set that then? Or did you just need to know when we want to do it?
Yeah, I would do a motion to canvass. the
Yes, and
election.
it'll be
I
during
will,
the.
I will move that we canvass the 2022 election results. Should I do 7:01 PM or,
Just, you can do it at the
At-
special meeting
okay.
scheduled for November 16th.
there we go. I'll move that we schedule the canvass of the 2022 election results to be held in conjunction with the special meeting scheduled for 7 PM on Wednesday, November 16th.
Okay, I'll second it.
I'll second it.
I'm not gonna repeat it all.
Yeah, it's a
but,
lot.
Motion made and second for scheduling the meeting to canvass 2022 election results on November, Wednesday, the 16th. 7 PM at our special November council meeting. Oh, all in favor of it, Ken Helgeson?
Aye.
Okay, Dan Redstone?
Aye.
Doug Henke, aye, so it will pass. Okay, item D is scheduled work budget session to review enterprise funds. Those are the ones we didn't get to last time, which is sewer, storm sewer, and liquor store.
Yeah, so that was looking at was the last week of October. And I mean, I'm pretty open that day. Or that week, let me try it again, pretty much, that week. But we're looking at trying to do that last week of October. It shouldn't be a real long type of meeting, so. It could be as little as, 30 minutes. But we have to go through the sewer fund, the storm sewer fund, the muni. Maybe we'll have an update on the capital improvement plan, which is getting pretty whipped into shape now, pretty good. So hopefully we'll have that pulled together, the draft of it anyway, so we could probably kind of go over that a little bit too. Cora's been working on that and she's got it's really good now, so. Anyway, but I was wondering about the last week there of October to do that.
What time did we have the last one? That was 5:30, was it? Or
I think it was 5.
5
actually.
o'clock.
But it could be any time.
I'm, any nights that week, I'm free.
Think it'll work. Yeah.
Well, I'll
There we
make it
go.
work.
So yeah, the,
Only preference I got for right now is we're big time on the field, so we can hit it. 5:36.
okay. Let me just double check here. Yeah, no, that week is fairly, I mean, pretty good. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean,
No preference.
Pick your poison.
How about Wednesday, the 26th?
okay.
I'm just thinking if there's, with Molly, if volleyball is usually play like Tuesday, Thursday. So I'm just thinking if we wanted to try and get as many people here.
Mhm.
What time do you think?
Is that what time?
6, did you say 6?
Would you guys go for 6 o'clock?
Sure.
How about-
6 o'clock.
Yeah, can you work for it? Mary, will that work for you? I know she's getting into, Christmas and stuff like that. too.
Well, I'll make it work.
It shouldn't be a very long meeting, maybe an hour, probably less.
I'll move that we have the review of the enterprise funds held on October 26th at 6 o'clock PM.
Okay,
I'll second it. No, go ahead.
I'll second. Okay, motion has been made. Second. Schedule budget work session, review enterprise funds, storm sewer, liquor store for October the 26th, which is Wednesday, 6 PM. Kathy, we didn't ask you. You're always involved. I'm sorry about that. Okay with that? Okay. So, Kim, how is that?
Aye.
Dan Richard,
I,
Mary Bailey,
Aye.
Doug Henke, aye. So, ayes pass. Okay. Other business, that's it, I believe. for-
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
Other business, schedule of upcoming meetings. Again, your meeting will be Tuesday, October the 18th at 2 PM. Meeting will be changed to, what do we got here?
16.
17th. To November 15th at 7 PM. Township fire contract meeting will be Tuesday, December the 6th at 6 PM. Have you contacted everybody on that?
No, we haven't sent notice though yet. They go out. I would say in early November, probably a month ahead of time.
I don't think there'll be anything. What is in the 5-year, what are we in our 4th year or 5th year, last one, or what? The contract that we set together?
Well, the contracts are annual, we did a phase in of the,
49.50.
yeah, that's long gone. I mean, it's 49.51. It's been like that
We're
for,
gonna hold it that way then.
yeah, it's been that way for several years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yep.
Okay.
I think some of the feedback I got was at the last one where there was one time when we didn't really have any representation from the fire department here at that meeting. And a couple of the guys would like that.
Yeah,
It just-
definitely.
So, and then if there's any type of like just annual update or handout that, You know, they're just looking for just like, you know, number of calls and where and that kind of, so.
Yeah, that was sent to
Okay.
them last year, but I know I got feedback. Somebody said they didn't get
I
it. and
think it
sent-
went to like the clerk.
We sent it to the clerk and he
Didn't
was
share it
like,
with anybody,
but we need to get it directly. So
or if we can just have copies available.
Right here.
that's what we need.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep,
Because we're not going to mail it to all of
Nope.
the township people.
just have copies of, and you can even put that in like the notice
Yeah.
that copies of the report will be available, and then someone representing the fire department leadership will be in attendance.
Well, last year you were here, but we'll have to. I'll email Lee Skillstead and tell him the date and, you know, ask him to be there. Hopefully he'll, you know,
What
be
day of the
available.
week is that?
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah, but normally they're the chief and
I
the.
think they, just
Yeah.
someone
Not
talk
sure
about like
last
the
year
type
I
of
was-
calls you had out in the country and where and
Yeah, we
That-
did it last year.
Yep. that's all.
We can print copies off, bring them up here, no big deal.
Yep, that's all they're looking for.
Yeah.
That was.
A little confusing. 'cause
Yep.
I think they would have gotten them, but, yeah, no, that's fine. We'll make sure, we'll double down and make sure we have enough, maybe extra guy or something.
Any other discussion on that? Move forward.
And I should be here too, so. Last year I was stuck at O'Hare,
That's right.
flight was delayed.
Oh, boy.
You know, the phone calls you make.
Yeah, or maybe I was in Minneapolis by that time, but I couldn't get down here and it was snowing out.
Yep.
We did.
That probably won't happen again, hopefully.
Okay, well, then, 2023 budget and levy public meeting, that'll be on Tuesday, December the 6th, 6:30 PM. That's it. We'll go to council and staff general comments. Mary, we'll give you the first shot at it.
I don't have anything. Thank you for putting up with me today on Zoom.
Kim, how about you?
I would just like to mention that we have the last farm market season coming on next Thursday, the 20th. And that has been great support from the community for that. So we're excited to bring it back again next year. Trunk or treat, October 30th at the depot from 3 to 5. And then we are now, Park and Rec is in the works for planning for a Christmas in Kenyon. Set that for December 30th. So
You want to give a little bit of a.
just,
shot on
just I
that?
say 30th? I'm sorry, December 3rd. Sorry, thank you, Wayne.
That might work. I've heard that you have got quite a few items for the Christmas.
Yeah, we're
lighting.
talking about several things that have been done in the past, trying to get volunteers to help to keep everything going. Of course, the lighting of the tree. Planning to see if we can get a light up parade for after that, for an evening parade. So we have to get people to deck out their vehicles or their vans, wear the battery operated lights, however. Santa will be here, the dinner. Maybe shop with cops, maybe. I don't know if we've reached out to you officially yet, but so, yeah, lots of things happening. So
Okay, well, thank you.
that's it.
How about you, Dan?
Nope, nothing to add.
Very good, okay. Well, the thing that I could mention is Veterans Park. We do have 4 new trees that were planted down there at the tune of $1,500. So
Awesome.
it should go over well. Mark, how do you, got something to say?
Nope. I don't have anything.
What about you, Scott?
I do not, thank you.
Nothing for me.
Geez, we're gonna really get through it. Well, I know Holly does, and she's always shy on it. How about you, chief? You got something to say?
Yeah, I'll just say one thing, October is breast cancer awareness month, so if you see us walking around with pink patches, that's what it is. Which is also Taylor done, does a great job coordinating. the pink patches.
Okay, thank you. Hey, how have you heard on the new vehicle?
The truck went into the body shop. There's a spray and liner that's going in the truck. I talked to Miles and we have the card that says the truck is coming soon. I got a date set up for Guardian to get that built first of November. With the truck being in that time. The second one, the second vehicle that we're going to talk about is towards the end of November.
Okay. Kathy, you got anything to say? Right? How about you, Wayne?
Leaves are falling, we're out sweeping streets. You can get your car off the road, we appreciate it.
Okay. About an adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion second to adjourn. Kim?
Aye.
Ken?
Aye.
Doug, aye. Mary Bailey?
I.
Aye. Okay, motion's been made and passed. All those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.